Hey everyone, I'm glad to see you guys here again. So I've gotten a lot of requests from a lot of the new moms out there asking for a flow that will be good to help heal after that. So this one is really dedicated to strengthening the muscles of the pelvic floor and the really lower abdominals. So all you need is a yoga mat today and we can go ahead and get started. So just find a comfortable seat on your mat or on your floor, wherever you are. Just make sure you're on a strong surface. Cross the legs comfortably, and I just want you to bring the hands to the belly. So as you breathe in, so if you take full deep breaths, notice how the belly will kind of move the hands out. So as you inhale, everything kind of expands, things fill up. Now as you exhale, draw the belly in gently. Exhale all the air out. And you'll notice that things start to get a little bit firmer, right? So even the abdominals all the way down that connect from the pubic bone, they move all the way up to the ribs. So we kind of forget about working the ones that move all the way down. So when you exhale fully, all of those muscles kind of turn on. So that's what I want you to notice. So take a couple more breaths like that, all the way in, and slowly all the way out. We'll do one more, so keep paying attention. Inhale, expand, so everything kind of grows out. And exhale slowly. It's harder to talk and do this at the same time. I wouldn't recommend a conversation. So now that we have kind of that awareness, I want you to just mentally remember that the abdominals go all the way down to the pelvis. So that's those lower ones are the ones that we're going to kind of target and retrain so that they stay strong and everything is cinched in really tightly. So come to your hands and knees. Rolling over, so the wrists are under the shoulders and the knees are right under the hips. So maintain that breath really long, in through the nose, out through the nose. And again, noticing how the lower abdominals stay braced. So in a typical, like I know we all read Cosmo and Women's Health, and they talk about Kegel exercises and how it's kind of clenching. So this is kind of a different approach, and it's better because it doesn't just tighten, it strengthens. So as you're using that breath to strengthen all the way down to the lowest abdominals, maintain that strength, maintain that firmness through the midline. And I want you just to sneak the left leg back. So extra slowly, just without moving the pelvis, keeping the belly pulled in. Take the left leg straight back. Don't worry about how high up it goes. And extend it just comfortably high, not super high off the floor. But notice how the left hip doesn't really move. It stays level with the right, and you're still engaging those lower abdominals to keep everything pulled in. Pressing the floor away through both hands. Maintaining your eyes on one point, or your gaze rather. Activate all the way through the left leg, so out through the toes. So with these last few breaths that we take, I know some of the muscles get a little bit fatigued, and that's totally normal. Now without rounding the back and trying to maintain that stability in the pelvis and in the hips, see if you can bring the left knee toward the chest. So don't round the back, you're just sneaking it in, lifting the belly, lifting the knee in toward the midline. Inhale, sneak it back. So extra slow. Maintain the core strength. So those abdominals that run all the way down to the pelvis are engaged. We'll do two more. Exhale, slowly sneak it back in. And this is also really good for the low back because it transfers the work out of the lower back, out of the lumbar spine, and into the hamstrings and into the glutes. So it really allows us to focus on strengthening the supportive muscles, not just the ones that we think, we need to focus on. Last one, sneak it in, lift the lower belly, and then drop the knee down. And on the right, so same thing, finding your point to focus on. Sneak the right leg back. So it's like you can't disturb or disrupt the level of the hips and the pelvis. So the right hip stays put. Just slowly stretch the right leg back. Activate through the hamstring and through the glutes. Reach all the way through the toes. Keep pushing the floor away. Breathe. So remember, we're holding. Try to keep as stable as you can. So you're lifting the belly in toward the spine. So you're lifting the lower abdominals in and up, almost like they're coming into the ribs. So on your next breath out, sneak the knee in toward the chest. Don't move the hip forward, just a little bit of a pull in. So up through the leg. Inhale, stretch it back, sneak it back. Hip stays level. 2 more rounds. Exhale, slowly pull in. Lift the belly, like you're making room for the knee. Inhale, sneak it back. Last round, exhale, pull it in. And inhale, take it back. As you breathe out, go ahead and take the right knee down. And go ahead and roll over onto your back. So all the way down, scoot the hips forward so you have some space. And take both legs straight up. So activate all the way through the heels. Keep the lower back down. So even there should be no space between your back and the floor. So you want it to be totally sealed off. So even if we kind of tried to stick a Twizzler or something in there, you wouldn't be able to get it through. Super flat. So again, those lower abdominals, they run all the way from the top of the ribs down to the pelvis. So engage. Remember that exhale. So as you breathe out, everything firms up, and that's where you want to stay. So we're going to move really, really lightly. You can just take the hands down at the sides, shoulders stay back. Keep everything on. As you breathe out, just really slowly lift the hips up. Tiny little lift, tiny, tiny. And inhale, flatten down. So the smaller your range of motion, the better in this case. You don't have to throw the hips up and down. It's a tiny little lift. So as you exhale, really slowly lift. Inhale, take it flat. We're going to do 5 more, okay? So exhale, lift it up. Tiny lift, hold it. Inhale, flat. Exhale, lift. Inhale, flat. So you might not even be able to see me move very much, and that's okay. So really, really slow, really tiny. Lift, tiny little bit. Inhale, down. Last 2, I think. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Last one. Exhale, lift. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And inhale, take it down. Knees to chest. So one more pose that I think is really helpful for this kind of thing. Go ahead and come back up. You can always do these in any order that you want to. So it's just kind of a good toolbox for you to use. So we'll come into a Hindi squat. I'll face you. So depending on how tight you are in the legs, especially through the Achilles tendon and into the calf, the feet may be wider or closer together. So for me, they're normally about a little bit wider than shoulder width, I would say. And I'm going to drop my hips far down, almost like they're just sinking down toward the floor. So from here, my elbows come right in between my knees. So in this meaty part, right in front of the knee, I'm going to press the knees back, take the hands together, and then bring the thumbs toward the center of the chest. Okay? So obviously if this is highly uncomfortable and it doesn't quite feel right, you can take it higher up with the feet wider and just focus on dropping the hips from there. So adjust it to whatever feels right and comfortable. Remember that you want your yoga to feel good. It doesn't have to be unpleasant. So from here, I just want you to take a few breaths, the same breath that we started with. So as you inhale, you're filling up, getting as much length as you can. And then with the exhales, you're breathing all the way down to the base of the abdominals, right above that pubic bone, right above the pelvis. So from the side, you have lots of length. Just show you what it looks like. So you want the spine to kind of maintain its natural curve. Try not to slouch into it, but keep reaching the crown of the head up, tuck the chin slightly, belly pulls in, tailbone is heavy. So I would definitely encourage you to stay there for at least 8 to 10 breaths. All of those you can repeat for a longer or shorter amount of time depending on what feels good for you. So again, use it as a toolbox, come back to it, revisit it, use it to kind of track your progress and how you feel. But anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that one. Have an awesome rest of your day, and as always, be good, feel good.